Hey YouTube, it's Lisa, and I just wanted to make hopefully a quick video about pregnancy, this current pregnancy, and a little bit of my paranoia. And I just wanted to quickly say that I'm going to really try really hard to stay on topic, and here's why. I listened to this podcast about homeschooling, and I really like it, except for the fact that the two women who do it, oh my goodness, they ramble endlessly about nothing. And I am like, when I'm listening to it in the car, I'm like, oh my goodness, shut up and talk about the content, because that's what I'm really here for. That's what I want to hear. I don't care what you did this week. Shush. And then I realized, oh, yeah, you know what? I think I do that. So I'm going to try to stop. So that was my one off-topic thing that I'm going to say in this video. And then my second off-topic thing is I am going to try to kind of expand some of the content into more parenting things as well as TTC, but I will clearly label things so you won't get stuck with something about homeschooling when you think you're going to be watching a TTC video or something like that. So that said, I'm moving on and I'm going to talk about pregnancy. See? Done. Okay. I am a little bit paranoid this pregnancy. My test lines are not getting darker. And just as a side note, I'm going to talk really fast because my husband and my kids are on the way back from the library and I need to get this done before they get here because it's content that my kids can't hear. Okay, so I'm paranoid about this pregnancy. My lines are not getting any darker, and that is making me really believe that this is going to end in miscarriage. And all I can hope is that either it goes into a full pregnancy or it is a chemical pregnancy and ends quickly. And I wanted to film the lines, but the lines are so light that that when I put my camera, I don't have the test strips. I actually have the test with the little windows. Well, when I put my camera down, the camera makes a glare on there, and so you can't see the lines. So that's why I've not made a video about the pregnancy tests themselves. I'm not sure that the line actually is a good indicator, only because if you've ever seen my pregnancy line progression video, you know that the test went all the way, turned until eventually the control line, and until the test line was eventually darker than the control line. And I had seen a heartbeat with that pregnancy, and I still had a miscarriage. So you just really don't know. But so that's kind of just where I stand. I'm a little bit paranoid. I'm not feeling like like this is the one. But I did also, with my last miscarriage, I felt like it kind of was the one because I tested really early, it was 6 days early. I can't even remember. It was really early. And my tests got darker right away, and I was thinking, this is it. And I literally, got my period the day it was due. And so, so it was a chemical pregnancy. So once again, indicating the lines mean nothing. But, so the bottom line is I'm paranoid and I'm not getting attached to this whole thing yet. But I also wanted to talk about this thing called super fertility, because I honestly think I have it. So doctors have been doing research, and they found out that women who have multiple miscarriages are not necessarily as infertile as people thought they were. That it's kind of that because your body doesn't really know when to reject an egg. That's me. I've pretty much gotten pregnant every time I've had unprotected sex. I mean, I'm talking every time. And so it gets really frustrating, and I know, that's nothing to complain about. Being super fertile is nothing to complain about, and certainly it was nothing to complain about with my 4 easy children that I just got pregnant with right away. But now that it's been 3 years since I've actually had a live birth, and I've been TTC for a year now, and I've had several miscarriages in between. And so now the super fertility thing is not so pretty. And anyway, there's an article, and I actually have it pulled up, called Super Fertile Women May Have More Miscarriages. And it is by Catherine Gammon on a live science channel. And I'm going to try to, let me scroll down. And it says, for years, researchers have searched for the reason why some women experience recurrent miscarriages. Now, a new study suggests some women's uteruses are just more conducive for implanting embryos, both healthy and unhealthy. So my uterus will pretty much implant anything. And so essentially, the reason that this gives hope, though, to women who have not gotten pregnant yet, who've been TTC for 3 or 4 months and are like, oh my gosh, I'm still not pregnant, I haven't even had a miscarriage. I think maybe your body is actually looking for a healthy egg and knows the difference. And then for women like me who have had multiple miscarriages, our bodies don't really seem to know when it's not a good egg and when to kick it back. And it would be nice if we could go, 3 or 4 months, even though it would be disappointing to get that, to not ever get that line, that pregnancy line. It would be super disappointing, but at the same time, when we did get pregnant, it probably means that it's a good one, right? So anyway, so then the article goes on to say, the research indicates something different is happening. Recurrent miscarriages can now be seen not as failure to carry a pregnancy, but perhaps a failure to prevent one. In other words, oh my goodness, my battery's dying right as I'm reading this. Okay, in other words, superfertility, but with distressing consequences. So anyway, and then it just goes on to say that. So, and I know you might think I'm a crazy Pollyanna person, but that actually gives me hope, because it kind of makes me realize that, like, I can get pregnant and my body just needs to find the right egg. And if that means, just kind of going through this until we do hit the right egg, then the more of a blessing that baby will be. And so I'm just still on track. Maybe this pregnancy is going to be the one. I really don't know. It's really hard to trust my instincts at this point. And then the other article that I have, and I have it also pulled up, but hopefully my battery power will last and my kids won't come home and we'll get this kind of knocked out here. But it is called Finding Hope After Miscarriage, and we might not get it because my battery might fail me. Trying. Okay, there we go. Sorry about my rambling. So anyway, and it is, I'm probably not going to be able to read it, but this woman tells her story about how she was 38 and she and her husband were newly married and they were trying to conceive. Essentially, she has miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, and she's not getting a whole lot of help from fertility specialists or whatever, because they're like, well, you're able to get pregnant. And I've kind of faced that too, because my insurance will actually pay for fertility treatment if it's your first, if you're trying to conceive and you're not conceiving and you don't have any other kids. But if you have other kids, then they won't, because they're like, well, you can obviously have a baby. So, and so I know I'm getting a little greedy, wanting more, but I really do love being a mom and I love my babies. So, I'm going to keep trying. But anyway, so she goes on and she has 4 miscarriages, and then she goes to the doctor with her 5th pregnancy, and the doctors, they see the heartbeat and everything, and she and her husband are like, yeah, we've been through this before, and they're not getting attached or whatever, and they ended up having a beautiful baby boy. And so, and she goes on to talk about how it was not, how she could clearly get pregnant, but she couldn't stay pregnant. But see, the thing is it's the hope, and that's what I really want to relay, is the hope. And also, let me tell you 2 more stories of hope, and then I will go before my kids get home. So the first thing is, I'm not counting this as a loss yet, so don't think I am. It very possibly could be the one. The light tests are making me nervous. Okay, my second story of hope is that I have a friend who, and I know she's not a friend of a friend of a friend, or a story that I heard. She's actually a friend. She lives in my neighborhood, and I see her regularly, at least once a week. And she had 3 miscarriages, and she's a very Christian woman, and it really knocked her face. She was like, God, why are you doing this to me? And she had miscarriage after miscarriage. Now, her miscarriages were over a matter of years, and so versus where mine were all 1 year, but and then she eventually had a baby boy, and there was nothing wrong, but she got pregnant and just kind of made the assumption, yeah, this one isn't going to be the one, and she ended up having a beautiful baby boy. And then I saw my wonderful friend the other day who has had 4 miscarriages in this past year. She's kind of been on the same track as me, and she's in her 20s. I mean, she's young. She shouldn't have been having miscarriages. And one of her, as far as from the egg quality age thing, I didn't mean she shouldn't have been having miscarriages. I'm not you can have a miscarriage at any age. In fact, don't they say 1/4 of pregnancies end in miscarriage? So, but anyway, one of her very last miscarriage was twins, and that was very devastating for her. And she is now 19 weeks pregnant again. So and everything's going really well. And she's made it past all the other points where she had a miscarriage. So anyway, I hope you find that encouraging, and I hope that sometimes I think I'm kind of a dork and I relay things like the way I see them. Other people don't see them. So I hope that you see this as a positive, and I will keep you posted on my own pregnancy and how things are going. So I will talk to you soon, YouTube. Talk to you later.